All right, Scorpio, you are the first water sign that I'm going to read. Um, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and choose your deck, and then we will jump in. All right, so for you, we are going with the vice versa deck. I'll show you guys what that looks like. That's the front of the box, and then the back of the box. So this deck automatically reads reversals. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm an intuitive reader. I will be doing a 10-card spread, which is basically just your story. And kind of the way that your story presents, it's a little different for every sign. So I'll basically shuffle the cards and they'll start to pop out or jump out or flip. Not so much flip over with the vice versa deck because it automatically reads reversals. And so when that happens, I will pull the card and we will read them. And then since there are automatic reversals in here, I won't necessarily pull cards for clarity because most of the time they clarify themselves when you read the front and the back. However, if there's anything unique that happens, or like sometimes I'll draw a card and it doesn't really speak to me, then sometimes I'll pull an additional card, and if we still don't get any clarity with that, I usually leave those situations alone because they can be kind of rabbit holes and they don't necessarily lead anywhere. But I find that once a situation is ready for us to understand, or we are ready to understand the situation, it will lend clarity to itself. So I'll just keep getting cards to pop out for us, and then we'll get into this. So Scorpio, you are a water sign. You are definitely stronger in your feelings and emotions, so we'll talk a bit about that. And again, these are not specifically love readings. These are more so a law of attraction reading to help you find your path of least resistance. That is the goal here, is to show you the way that you can find the most inner peace and joy, especially if you're a little stuck right now and need some guidance and you're not sure what to do. So already I can see that Scorpio has a lot of stuff going on. Whoa. Thank you so much. We can't possibly read those all right now, but I do appreciate your enthusiasm. So we have 6 cards right now, just waiting for 4 more. This one chunk just keeps jumping out. There's a lot going on here. And I'll tell you how I found this deck was I was actually reading I was watching another tarot reader on YouTube, and someone asked me in the comment. I will put her name in the comments because I really like her stuff, and it doesn't always resonate with me, but like it's like her. I don't always, I get her notifications, but I don't always really pay attention to them. It's just like when something jumps out at me and I'm like, you need to go watch her channel. I watch it, and she's really good about that. And intuitive reading it's kind of where I learned a lot from watching her channel. And I don't know why I can't think of what the name of it is, but it'll come to me eventually. Oh, there's 2 cards here, which is interesting because some of these came out for, I want to say Virgo. I think it was Virgo because I just did, Taurus was last. Yeah, so these came out, 2 of these came out for Virgo. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and set the deck aside in case we need a clarifier. Typically I've not needed a clarifier with the vice versa deck, but we will see. So the first thing that we get is the Queen of Pentacles, and Pentacles being Earth. And specifically the Queen of Pentacles being in a feminine abundance of energy. Not not in an imbalanced way, but just that the feminine energy is strong and in the full embodiment of feminine energy. We also have the water bearer, and I'm not super sure, I'm not really familiar with this card. Like, I know I've seen it before, but it's not jumping out at me, so I'm gonna, well, that's in Spanish. So it is not the water bearer, it is temperance. I don't use the books a ton. It just, tarot decks typically come with a little book like this, and it gives the traditional reading of the cards, but like I said, I read intuitively, not just reading what it says it means from the book. We also have the Eight of Pentacles here, and I really like this card. And I'll show you, well, let me go back and show you the front and back of it. So this is the first card that we have. That's the front of it. It came up in reverse. And that is the Queen of Pentacles. We also have Temperance, which this is the front of the card, and that is in reverse. It's interesting because this is very simple, and it did come up front facing. And that's interesting. It's very similar to the Strength card, especially in this deck. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles. That is the front and reverse. And it came up front facing. And then we have the King of Pentacles, which came up in reverse, and that is the front. So we have the full masculine and feminine energy in Pentacles. So it seems here, Scorpio, that you are very abundant in your earthly, tangible, physical possessions. If you're not seeing the full representation of that, like dollars in the bank account and, you know, the house, the car, the possessions, it's coming to you. Like it's there, it's in your vortex. So if you feel stuck there, all I could say is, and I don't know why, like when it's talking about abundance and I'm saying things about feeling stuck, and maybe that goes back to here where you can see it's kind of shadowy, the pentacles that he's been working on, and he's like still carving it, but that's like how he's been working on this thing in his mind, and now the thing that he's been working on in his mind is coming into actual physical manifestation. So if you feel like your physical manifestation is not coming along at the same pace, it might be time for you to look at something else, because you're doing really well here. You may not see it, you may not feel that, but once you get to the place of feeling that, you will see the physical representation, because everything that you have asked for is already there. Then we're moving on to the Two of Swords here, and this one is interesting because it kind of looks like the Justice card, Justice being blind. She's not using her physical eyes, she's using her mental eyes, so it's there's kind of all that, the emotional storm raging around her, but in her mind's eye, it is calm, peaceful, and serene. So she's not looking at everything that's happening physically outside of her, but her mind is calm. So I guess she's been meditating a lot. So if you've been meditating a lot, this is you. Keep up the good work. Here we have the Tower. That is the front of the card. It came up in reverse. So in the front ways, you can see that there's not really anything inside the Tower. It's something that we've kind of built up in our minds, and there's nothing in there that we're actually losing. But from this perspective, it seems like our world is coming apart. Here, those sphinxes here, those are actually on the Chariot card as well. And it's interesting because the Chariot represents movement, so they're moving away from this Tower event. But it's like you can either hold on to this, and it seems like right now you're holding on to this. So you're meditating, you have mental clarity, but if you look at the situation very strongly, things are falling apart, and this is what you're facing, is the Tower. So the key to your situation here is to release the thing that you are holding on to. It's not what you think it is. It's not serving you anymore. And if you can just let go of it, you will find your peace and abundance is waiting for you. So The next card is the Five of Wands. There's another word for that, but I can't think of it right now, and it's not really typically called wands, but that's what it is in my mind. And it's two giants fighting it in the wake of a volcano, and that is the reverse. The front side, you don't see that. You don't see the volcano. You just see the two giants fighting, and you're like, yeah, this is super important and super scary, but what's really happening that's really important is what's going on in the background that you're not paying attention to. So that's here where you're looking at the tower. The thing that you're focused on is not the problem. So if that is going back to the financial situation where you have the full manifestation of the energy, masculine and feminine in your abundance and creativity and fruitfulness, and you're still focused on trying to build that, that's not what the problem is. The problem lies elsewhere. We also have Capricorn coming up here in the Devil card. So this can be Devil, it can be another energy, or it can be something internal, an internal struggle. And it's got the masculine and feminine here, and I think we have the masculine and feminine pentacles, and they are actually abundant. The masculine energy has the fire, the feminine energy has a tree behind her that's like maybe the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Like you're focused on the evil. You're focused on these situations, and like the last three cards are all showing where your focus is not where it needs to be, even though and it's like talking about this, the calmness, but then also the chaos that's happening at the same time. And it's like you're meditating, but you're still, when you're not meditating, you're still focusing on this situation. And it seems to be really big. And I know if you look at Abraham Hicks, or you watch anything on the law of attraction, which is what kind of inspired me to do this, you know that when you get so focused on an idea, she talks about picking up the vibration where you left it off, that same hot end of the hot frying pan. You're like, oh, this burns, and you don't put it down, and you put it down back on the stove where it's continually being heated, and you walk away and you come back and you pick it up again. It's still hot. It is still hot. You're picking up this thing and it's hot. So the thing that you are struggling with, you need to put it down and like walk away. Turn off the stove. Stop feeding energy into that situation. And this doesn't have to be the financial situation. This could be any kind of situation. Whatever it is in your daily life, Scorpio, that you are hung up on, that you are giving all your time and attention to, that is not serving you. When I'm talking about it's not serving you, I'm saying you're putting time, emotional energy, physical energy, tangible energy. You're putting your energy, your efforts, your whatever, everything that you have is going into this, and it's not giving anything back to you. It's not making you feel happier. It's not giving you more money. It's not giving you anything. You need to turn off the energy to it, put it down, and walk away. I don't know why I'm talking to you like this, Scorpio. I feel like we're vibing right now and you understand what I'm saying. So the next card, I don't remember what this one's called. I will show it to you, and then I will look up the name of it in the book. I want to say it's the moon. But we're going to double check that. Let's see here. It is the moon. So, the moon card, there is a lunar eclipse. She's also coming up out of the water, and she's got a bowl and a light in her hand. And then the reverse of that, there's a crab and there are two dogs. There's also a face on the moon. And there's two towers. Now, nothing's happening to the towers, but it's like they're also fractured down the backside where you can see there's nothing in there. It's building up that situation again. It's almost like you're dreaming about this. This is showing up in just about every aspect of your waking or sleeping life. And the crab and the moon card is about like hidden fears, things that you may not be talking about it. In fact, this whole situation may be something that you are going through totally in private. And typically I would say, like with stuff like that, especially with law of attraction, it's like the idea is you don't want to bring it up in conversation any more than you have to. But I kind of think this might be something that you need to talk to somebody about, because it seems like you've been trying to handle this by yourself, and there's a lot of anxiety that is showing up here. And this is not, you're not, unless you're meditating, you don't have peace of mind going on here. And you have so much going for you, but then we get down here and it's like, this is, okay, so this is what I'm seeing. Picture perfect. When everyone else looks at you, you are the person that people are jealous of. You have all these things going on. Your life looks super abundant, and it is super abundant, but the things that are hurting you are in your head, and they're things that you're not telling people about. This is a private struggle, and I think maybe it's time to share this with someone, and in the sharing of it, be able to release it and walk away. So wherever it is that you go to find peace, like, you can't meditate 24/7. You can't. If you find peace in church, you can't spend every single day in church all day. Like, wherever it is that you find peace, you're finding peace when you go there, but as soon as you leave, this issue is back on your mind. So whatever that is, I think it's time to share that with someone, be it in therapy, counseling, a close friend, journaling. It can be very therapeutic to journal and then take that page and then burn it. You need to cleanse this energy, and whatever it is, and I don't know what it is. You gotta work on that. Not, when I say work on this, I don't mean effort. I mean releasing it. It sounds contradictory. You know what I'm trying to say. This is not a place where you want to spend more time. The Nine of Cups. Oh, that didn't, okay. That did nothing. I know that. He's looking out. This is the way that it was facing up. He's looking out into the night, and you don't really see what he's looking at. You just see the cups there, and it's like he's kind of contemplative and thinking about his emotions and feelings. But then you also see that there's this feminine energy floating in with a cornucopia, which is the abundance, an abundance of love. And the 9 is also nearing the completion of an emotional cycle. So most of this has been about abundance and anxiety, but emotionally speaking, you have a lot of good stuff going on, and it's like, I feel like what you're holding on to, that's where the Tower is coming into clear, and it could be in emotions, but here again in Temperance, it's talking about not indulging, like balance, pouring from one cup to another, and we see the lion and I think that's an eagle. Strength. Having the strength to hold on to balance. And we've also got the lilies there, which are like peace lilies. And I just noticed there's almost like a portal over there in the corner. And there's that mountain behind her. Finding the balance there between your masculine and feminine, but also being open to releasing what it is that you have going on here. It's, again, it is not serving you. And I'm going to pull another card. I don't usually do that with this deck, but I am going to pull another card because we have so much anxiety sitting in the middle of your story, and it doesn't really give a resolution to that. It's more so just saying, hey, there's an emotional cycle here that you're about to wrap up, but is that related to the Tower that we're seeing here, and what will help with that? So I pulled another card, and this is actually the Star card, which is Aquarius. And here she's pouring out her heart. It's water. She's pouring out water, emotions. Pour out your heart. And here you can see there's like an invisible, invisible man. Pour out your heart. Talk to Spirit. Talk to your guides. Talk to God. Whatever it is that you believe in. And there's love here. She doesn't see it, but it is there. So I see that as self-love. Take the time to journal. Journaling right now, I feel it is very strong for you. Salt baths, like an Epsom salt, water, 20 minutes. Take some time for self-care, and then like pamper yourself, and then journal out all this stuff that you're feeling. If you don't feel comfortable talking to someone, get it out on paper and clear this up. So yes, this Tower is relating to this emotional situation, all of the things that you're feeling, but remember, manifestations are fueled by emotion. Like emotion and feeling and passion about something, or fear of something, or all that stuff that feeds into it, and that's where our manifestations come from. So be sure that you are taking care of yourself and your emotions, and cleanse that, and take the time to listen to your own heart. I hope this is helpful, and you get through this. You will get through this, Scorpio. I know that. You are almost there. Much love.